Hi, I'm Danny and these are my Diecast Disasters. In this video I'm going to be restoring and customizing a Majorette Range Rover rescue unit. These were produced from 1978 until 1988, and I believe this is one of the earlier ones from the first couple of years because it's got the little blue men in it there, and the later ones don't seem to have them. In light of the terrible bushfires that have been happening in Australia this season, all the money from this video I'm going to be donating towards helping wildlife that has been affected by the fires. And there'll be a link in the description down below where you can donate as well. So let's have a closer look at our Range Rover here off of the turntable. A pretty worn out paint job there. Tatty looking wheels. The windscreen is fairly scuffed there. It's missing its ladder, but it's got the little men in it, so that's pretty cool. They'll be fun to detail. Classic metal Majorette base there with a big hole in the bottom of it. Still not quite sure what those holes are about, so if anybody knows you could mention in the comments down below. So I'll start taking it apart. I'll just drill out the rivet post there. There's only one. Then I can pop the bottom off and take the truck apart. There we go. Now I'll use some paint stripper to take the paint off the body there. I'll pop these wheels and axles out from under the suspension wire here. There's the body with all the paint stripped off. Now I'll give them both a clean up with a wire brush on my rotary tool. Get rid of any remaining scraps of paint and oxidation and the crud off of the base there. And here they are, looking a bit cleaner and shinier and ready for painting. So I'll start by undercoating my truck with black here. I'm going to paint it red. I find that black is a better colour to undercoat red with, unless I wanted a really bright looking red. I might use a white undercoat. So here it is after I've painted it with my red paint. Next I paint in some of the details in chrome. The door handles here and the lights and indicators. I printed out some fire and rescue decals here and also the badge of the New South Wales Rural Fire Department. And I'll just apply those onto the body of my car, the badge on the bonnet there and the fire and rescue on the doors. And then I finished it all off with a couple of coats of nice gloss varnish. Onto the interior parts. They're looking pretty grubby, so the first thing I'll do is give them a good wash in some hot soapy water. Notice one of the little guys is missing a foot there, we'll have to fix that. So here they are after a good wash. So I'll just fix the little guy's foot there with a tiny piece of styrene and some super glue, and then they'll be ready to paint. There we go. So I'll start off by undercoating my little men with white. Next I paint their faces and hands. Now I paint their clothes yellow. The helmets are painted red. I paint their boots black. And I also give them some little black belts there. I paint the little tiny badges on their helmets. The framework, I'm going to paint that black. I apply a brown wash over the flesh areas. And finally I put a black wash all over the little men's clothes. So it'll look like they're a bit ashy from the fires. The interior, I just paint it black, and I'm just going to detail the lights and the indicators here at the front. Again, the base was just painted black, and I detailed the headlights there in chrome as they poke out through the plastic grille. Here's the original windscreen. It's not in the worst condition. I could tidy it up, but I'm not so keen on it being orange, and I've got this other one here, so I figured I'd take the clear windscreen out of that. I probably should have swapped the bases over too, as the tow bar's broken on the one I used. So our clear windscreen's in pretty good condition. I'll just give it a quick polish, and then I'll give it a good wash. Remember to wash after you polish, because you're going to leave a load of polish residue all over everything. There we go, that's looking pretty good. Now I'm just going to paint the lights on top in some clear orange. And I finish them off with a dip in some self-shining floor polish. Here are those old original wheels. They'd probably actually look okay if I painted up the rims and such, but I'm going to be replacing them with these green light ones here. And finally, I needed a ladder to replace it, so I've pinched this one off of another vehicle. I'll just cut off those mounts at the back there. I don't know if it's quite the right type of ladder, but I think it'll look alright. So here we are, all of the parts of our rescue Range Rover refurbished, repainted and ready to go back together. I'll start by popping the wheels and axles in. These green light ones just press onto the axles. I have to admit these didn't fit very well. I had to really push. Sometimes they're like this, sometimes they fit pretty easily, and other times they're a real pig, so just be careful you don't break them while you're trying to push them on. Oh, there we go, it's a bit of a tight fit admittedly, but it's only going to be a display piece, so the wheels don't have to spin very well. Next I pop my little fireman onto the interior. I drop the windscreen into the body there, and then in with the interior and the little men. And finally I can stick the base on. I drilled and tapped the post earlier, so once I've got the base popped on there, I can use a little button head screw to hold it all together. There we go, the ladder just clips on top. There's our Range Rover all finished and back together, but just before we take a look at the finished product, let's take a moment to look back and be reminded of what we started with. Here's our scruffy looking little Range Rover with its chipped, worn out paint job there, scuffed old orange windscreen. All of the plastic parts are really grubby, and those wheels are looking pretty tired. So let's see how it looks after we've given it a bit of a tidy up. And here it is, our restored and customized Range Rover rescue unit from Majorette. That worn out, chipped old paint job is long gone, replaced with a tidy new red one. It's got some new fire and rescue signs on the doors and a New South Wales Rural Fire Brigade badge on the bonnet. It's been detailed and given some nice new tyres and a new ladder on top there. And our brave little firefighters have been given a major makeover with some new high visibility yellow safety gear. I really like how it came out. I think it's looking really tidy now. Those wheels are a tiny bit large at the front there, but they were the smallest off-road real rider kind of wheels that I had. I think the men look really cool in there in their little yellow outfits. You can let me know what you think in the comments down below. So, since they started in June, the Aussie bushfires have burned over 18 million hectares of land, destroyed over 5,000 buildings, and they've killed at least 30 people. And they've also killed over an estimated 1 billion animals. I'm a big animal lover. I've got 4 cats and 2 dogs and some other animals. So I wanted to donate the money from this video to help them out. I did a little bit of looking into it, and there's been over $1 billion donated towards helping the animals so far over there. But apparently not a lot of it's actually getting to the animal shelters and the veterinaries and people like that who really need it. It's been held up for whatever reason. And I was pretty disappointed to find out that some of it that actually is getting through is just being used for massive cullings where they just send people out to shoot the animals for whatever reason. Anyway, I'm going to be donating my money to a fundraiser set up by a young Kiwi vet who's actually over there, gone over to help with the animal rescue efforts. Her name's Abby Pogan, and she's on the ground over there, so whatever money you donate to this fund will go straight to the scene and help out either a shelter or help to pay some vet bills or doing other things to help the animals. Like apparently there's one volunteer firefighter over there. He's been fighting the fires for like over a month. So he hasn't been able to work and pay his mortgage, etc., which is a position a lot of them are in because there's not really any compensation for them. But anyway, instead of going back to work, he stayed there and he goes out and tries to find animals that have been hurt by the fires, and he brings them in to the rescue so they get some care and hopefully fixed up and back on their feet. And they asked him what he needed to help, whether he needed some donations or something, and he said just some petrol money would be great. So that's the sort of thing that this fundraiser will be going to. If you'd like to donate a little bit, I'll leave a link in the description down below. Otherwise, you just have to watch the video and maybe share it with your friends, and that'll help out a little bit. Thanks heaps for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you'd like to see more like it, remember to subscribe and click the bell so that you get notifications. Give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.